Hi, I'm Gino with LaBella Hair Extensions. Today I'd like to demonstrate the proper way to apply keratin tip hair extensions, also known as fusion. First, before we start it, let's go over the tools that you will need. First thing you need is a hot iron to melt the keratin. You need a comb. You will need some clips, as much as you want. You will need a safety shield, as well as a small naper to customize your extensions as you go. Let's get started. First thing you do, you take a small section of the hair, approximately the same size as one hair extension. Very important that you stay about 1 inch away from the hairline. Whether you're doing the back, the sides, the front, you should always stay about 1 inch away. This way, if the client chooses to do an updo or a braid or whatever, or simply put the hair up, it will hide the bonds. Proceed to install the safety shields and hold it with a small clip. Once you have it perfectly at 45 degrees, you then will take one extension, place it underneath, and melt it until it's properly melted. I melt it a little bit, then I lift it up, and I watch it bubble right through. Once it's melted, you go around. Don't spin it too hard, very gentle, very gentle. Just go around with your fingers like this. Not so much actually spin it as much as mold it. And that's what it should look. Very nice, 45 degrees down, very comfortable for the client. We're gonna go ahead and apply our second one. This is the size of tips that I like to install. However, this is the way they come from the factory, very long. I like to cut them back a little bit, approximately the same size, the same width and height, so they're tiny little squares. When I do around the face, I actually split them, or if your client has very fine hair, you could split them into two and make very fine section. We will use one to show you how to install the half sizes. But for now, let's put one more regular extension. Again, apply the iron. Try not to touch the plate or the client. Once you melt it, bring the keratin all around and simply mold it nicely. If you're working around the face or someone with fine hair and you decide to cut the extensions in half, make sure that you check the size of that extension and attach it to half size, just like that. So don't pick up a big section of hair to apply a small extension on it. As you can see, a tiny section, we're gonna put a tiny extensions on it. As you can see the difference. If this was around the face, I wouldn't want this big. I will use these little ones. Also, if the client has fine hair, you would not want to use these big ones. You will customize them. And that's the beauty of the keratin. The keratin extensions, you could pretty much customize them any way you want. You don't have to cut them in half. You could remove a very little on the side just to make them a little bit lighter. Don't throw these away. You could take 3 or 4 of these, attach them together, and make another one. Okay. As I said before, always pick up the proper amount of hair based on the size of extensions you're going to use. If you're going to use a small extension, pick up a small piece. I like to melt it a little bit. then lift up my top one and watch it melting through. Once I know that it's completely melted, then I know that I don't have any problem down the road with slipping or maybe water or shampoo getting inside. One of the things I find is that if you melt them just a little bit, the keratin will surround the hair, but not necessarily get in the middle. If you don't get the keratin in the middle, well, water and other things will get inside, like water, conditioner, shampoo, anything can get inside, cause him to slide. So using this small technique of melting it a little bit, as soon as you feel like melting it, lift the top one, watch that bubble right through. Now you are guaranteed that all the keratin is inside the hair by simply gently, don't put a lot of pressure on, there's no need for that, you might burn your fingers that way. Just gently, they'll look beautiful, and you could be sure that they're not gonna slide. Nothing is gonna make these slide as long as you use that system. I'm gonna use one more. I'm gonna install one more just so you can see exactly the way I do it. I've been teaching this system for many, many years, and most of the people that we train have no problem with slippage whatsoever. Again, place that keratin tip right underneath. Close it to maximize heat. As soon as you see it melted, open it up, allow only the bottom to stay, and watch it bubble right through. At this point, you're pretty much guaranteed that it's melted all the way inside of the hair, leaving no opportunity for the water or the shampoo or anything else to get inside. And this is the way they should look. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.